You know, they say you never really feel old until you see what young people are doing. And nothing makes me feel older than dumb TikToks. Guys, it's Paul, combat veteran, MMA fighter, YouTuber, and caffeine addict. And today is a special day. We are going to be looking at military TikTok compilations. Buckle up. Let's see what the Chinese company is going to learn about our military now. Let's get into it. I guess it would help if I turned it on.
Whoa. Hey, yeah. What's the difference between my job and my wife?
What?
My job sucks.
Oh. What's wrong?
It's my wife. She's a pain in my ass.
Oh man, this is funny. This is Zoomers making fun of boomer humor, right? The classic boomer humor being this boomer who hates his wife and he just has all these dumb jokes about how much he dislikes her, but they just won't get divorced, right? It's like the toxic relationship, which I think is actually a sort of hilarious when you realize that people just treated it as normal to like really hate your spouse. And it's like, damn, dude, just be happy, right? Like, yeah, of course, everybody's going to have little things that annoy you, but like boomer humor back in the day was like horrible. It was like, how much can you get away from your spouse?
See how
Okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
still you can hold your phone in the military sniper BTW. Who in the world?
I mean, okay, that's a pretty stupid joke, but yeah, here's the thing. The point of being a decent sniper is that you don't have to rely on how steady your hands are. You set a good shooting position and you're okay. All right, let's see. So this is a combatives fight. And so I, believe it or not, was actually on Fort Riley's All-Army Combatives team. We took second in All-Army, which is pretty good for a small post or a post of Fort Riley's size. So let's see. Let's size this up. And by the way, combatives is just Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a little MMA mixed in. So let's see. They're starting from their knees.
World said girls can't fight.
Okay, well, she done goofed already by going for that headlock and not locking it in place. You got to grab the uniform, right? Then they can't take you back.
Then what is this? Because I am pretty sure she is winning.
She's not winning. She just got thrown again.
Never underestimate your opponent, even if your opponent
She's on top. Okay, that's
is
good.
a female. Call an ambulance, but not for her. No crying here.
Okay, all right. Without sewing the whole thing, it's really tough to know. It looked like it was sort of competitive, but here's the other thing, right? If you've been training a while, right, you understand that you have to adjust your dials to who you're rolling with, right? I train on a routine basis with much smaller and female training partners and with much larger training partners. The much larger training partners do me the courtesy, right, of not going full strength. I know they can deadlift 4 times my weight. I'm certain of it. But they aren't going to learn anything by smashing me into the dirt, right? And I don't learn anything by smashing my smaller opponents into the dirt. So you guys just adjust the dial so you get a competitive roll. Honestly, the mistakes those two were making, they were very new to the sport. Nothing wrong with it, but that is a good way to go about it, is to just sort of go through these motions and learn things. I think it's unfair to sit there and take that framework and say, hey, we're gonna decide that this is actually a reflection of who's tougher. Like, okay, they're in the Army, they're doing combatives, they're training, right? It's like trying to be like who won at an NTC rotation or like a force-on-force exercise. It's like, no, just train your skills.
Wrong answer only. Wrong answer only. Wrong answer only.
This is definitely an Intel shop. All those guys, first off, privates and specialists on computers, Intel shop, maybe Signal, but almost certainly Intel shop. Also, just like this is just a dumb like pseudo-intellectual prank. You can see them all thinking really hard. Yeah, these guys are all military intelligence. That guy's getting promoted to specialist.
Wrong answers only.
Okay, this is pretty good.
Wrong answer only. 3.
Oh man, they're in the Pentagon. Yeah, see the 5 stars? Okay. 5 stars, the key and lightning. I'm trying to identify what unit that is. I think they may be some sort of signals intelligence, or maybe a space command. They may also be like a space command.
B. Wrong answer only.
Okay, that was pretty funny. Get your iPro on, dude. Get your friggin' iPro on. Don't be riding in the truck with an eye protector. Come on. Okay, so that's funny. Some of this weird, every cycle in basic training, every post has their own like weird traditions, right? It's like reality TV, right? They take away any connection to the outside world, right? Then no cell phones, no TV, no newspapers. So you're like inside this bubble. And so when you're inside the bubble and you have like 100 other people, right? You're going to get these weird cultural things that people are fixated on. In this case, it appears they developed some sort of fixation on yelling whenever a drill sergeant steps foot onto a gravel pit. Looks like some sort of combatives pit. My guess is this is actually Fort Leonard Wood, and I'm basing that first on the architecture, but second on the soldier on the right. You see how he has a standard military police service belt. Also, I believe that unit patch is actually the Fort Leonard Wood cadre unit patch. So this is at Fort Leonard Wood. I think it's military police training, and my guess is they're going to go there and probably going to get some training on military police like use of force. So how to subdue someone, how to arrest someone, how to safely control them, that sort of stuff. But let's see. Oh, they're yelling at ease. Okay, at ease is what you say when a drill sergeant enters. Whenever a drill sergeant like enters like your bay or your space or your room, right? That's what you got to do. This is actually a pretty well trained unit, I think. They seem to really have this down, right? That's the other thing. It's sort of when you finally figure out the rules and how things have to be, you can start to like put flair on it, right? It's sort of like parade or like drill and ceremony, right? First you get good at everything, you understand it all, but then you get to add your own flair to it, right? The details that make it yours. Same thing happens in jiu-jitsu, actually. A lot of times you master a technique, but then you add these little details that make it work for your body, that let you set it up, that let you integrate it into your style, and they give you your look to the sport. That's why it's a martial art.
Since everybody keeps using two hands,
What the fuck?
They were a sniper.
Since everybody keeps using two hands but swears they were a sniper. What the fuck? Yeah, McAfee security? Are you fucking serious? Fucking, oh my god. I had some stupid document to sign. They made me download Adobe, like Adobe Reader, and they forced me to put this stupid McAfee on my goddamn computer. And I hate it so much. The owner, John McAfee himself, hated what they had done to his program. It was literally the virus. Their program was the virus, right? This is like the 90s pop-up ads. I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay. Let's just get back after it. What the fuck? Is this the thing? Like how still you can hold your phone and make you a sniper? Doesn't matter. That's the dumbest one. Turn on your anti-shake. It's a setting on your phone.
Are you
Okay, that's pretty good.
a soldier?
Mm-hmm.
that is not any country's camouflage.
Today, I'm going to be a soldier.
Really?
Well, no, not really. Father says I don't have the balls to be a soldier. I was so angry, but he was right. I'm a fucking pretty princess.
You can be a pretty princess and be in the army. You just got to leave the princess attitude mostly at home. Though, even when I was on active duty, I saw some people, men and women, who definitely brought that princess attitude. And man, they annoyed the absolute crap out of me.
Back class area clear.
Hey, Omar.
Okay, that's just cool. That's just an AT4. That dude fired that AT4 properly. Good for him. Though it had a Picatinny rail, like you're going to scope your AT4, how would you zero it?
If you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Fuck you.
Hey, word. Word. If you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Fucking bullshit.
Hey. If you could tell one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Fuck you.
If you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Hope he dies.
Shit. Where are they? They're deployed somewhere. They've got the subdued patches.
Hey, if you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Why the fuck did you lie to me?
If you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Thank you very much for the job opportunity.
Hey, Frost. If you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Why didn't
Okay, so they're from Third ID. They got that Third ID patch.
you tell me about airborne?
No.
Pennington, if you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be? Good.
All right, you're gonna have to tell YouTube this has some inappropriate language.
Hey, if you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Thanks.
If you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
Fuck you.
If you could say one thing to your recruiter, what would it be?
You're welcome for my service.
That's a pretty good one.
Three little birds sat on my window, and they told me I don't need to worry.
That's a move. That is distracting. That is distracting. Just the cover. Just the cover being all screwed up, right? That's the only part that really irritates me. Though honestly, listen, I'm gonna be honest. When I was deployed, I had a couple of guys. Dudes just had moves. You don't have anything else to do, so you just gotta bust out some moves. No judgment.
I hate when people say, you don't need alcohol to have fun. Well, you don't need running shoes to run, but it fucking helps, don't it?
How about with no context, he's pouring it all into an AK-47 shaped glass. I hate Jameson. Actually, Jameson I only dislike. I hate Jack Daniels. I know, I'm an American, I'm supposed to love it. It's just a lot of chemicals, man. Those damn chemical dyes, it's all new. It tastes horrid. Why would you drink something so horrible if you could afford better? And because if you can drink Jack, you can afford slightly better. There's worse whiskeys, right? Or there's comparably tasting bad whiskeys, like Four Roses. Four Roses is good. It's a good tasting whiskey. It's just inexpensive, you know? But Jack just relies on the brand. It's like buying anything that the Kardashians sell. You know it's going to be trash because their brand is so strong, they can charge anything they want.
One, two, open up! Open up! Hey, take it fucking serious! What the fuck? You think this is Gonzalez? You know what?
That's funny. He's pissed. Yeah. Okay, so that was riot control training, right? Pretty standard stuff. And you are supposed to actually, you're supposed to kind of put a little emphasis on it, right? Here's the thing. There's a point in the training where your teammates should actually be doing that. They should actually be trying to get control of your shield, The problem is that when someone tries to grab your shield, you're supposed to either smash their fingers, right, with the baton, or you're supposed to smash the shield into the ground if they come up underneath it, right? So the strategy to deal with that is to break some fingers, which is fine because someone has chosen to go hands-on with you. They've chosen to assault you. And frankly, if you're going to try to, attack the military, their decision-making capacity probably isn't that great. All that to say, right, yeah, if you get your shield taken away and then you go wailing on people, that's not a good look. That's a good way to end up on CNN. It just doesn't look great.
Because I am in the fucking military.
Oh, God. Oh, but he's in the Air Force. Look at that. That helmet. What is wrong with that helmet? That looks fake. I think this is fake. Oh, God. Oh, he's got the I don't even know if they let you have that Velcro hat with the American flag on it. I mean, maybe in civilians, but get out of that, dude. Get out of that. Ugh. Yeah, no, nothing is more annoying than somebody who thinks that they are cooler than they are by being in the military. Right? I'm sure there's some cool guys in the military, but they probably don't have social media accounts. Okay, so he's with the 101st Airborne. All right. That's that, airborne patch, Screaming Eagles. To yeet over the table. Just wait till they find out he just lets me do it now. Day 14 of jumping out a window. I guess the goal is he's been jumping out a window for 2 weeks and his buddy's trying to stop him. I love how he goes, it is what it is. That's the most military phrase of all. Stoicism. That's how you cope. That's why Marcus Aurelius was the original Stoic, right? Because he was a military commander in Gaul. Right? The furthest, most ass-backwards province of Rome. And he was stuck there, right? And he had no choice but to develop the earliest Stoic thought. Yeah, that's classic military drill and ceremony. That's what we talked about, right? You do it enough. By the time you're a specialist, you've been doing these dumb drill and ceremony things for like 2 years. You're good enough to put your own flair on it.
Do we carry machine guns? No, because we have this cross. That one can, because there is no cross. But medevac, we don't carry any machine gun.
Oh, okay, so he is a pilot, so he's the real deal. He's got the wings, right, first lieutenant, and he flies, obviously, medevac helicopters, which, correct, when you have the Red Cross under the Geneva Convention, you cannot carry any weapons, or rather, any weapons that can, you're allowed to carry, very limited defensive weapons. So medics can carry weapons for the purpose of protecting themselves and their patients, but that's about it. So a medevac helicopter will not have any offensive weapons, right? So a minigun, So the crew themselves may carry small personal defense weapons like an M9 or some sort of maybe they call them PWDs, personal defense weapons. They may, but no, usually it's unarmed.
Well, look how fake this is. Look, go ahead.
You get your boots from 43rd.
Look at the.
Nah, that's just waterproofing. That's a man who knows. He puts camp dry on those boots. Hardcore. It's perfect. They look great even in the field. That's a big brain move.
Real one.
Now look at his big ass move.
That's just not fake.
Your shit's just smooth.
Okay, SF does not mean special forces. In the Air Force, that means security forces. You can see his tab. It says, or his patch says U.S. Air Force. So these are the military police of the Air Force. She's going to get tased. We've talked about this in other videos, right? In order to carry a taser, to be certified in a taser, you have to get tased at least once. And that's just so you understand exactly what you're doing to people. Oh, ma'am. Okay, so it's an officer. It's probably like a junior officer. You say it 3 times. Normally it's like taser, taser, taser. But they're really tormenting her. It's pretty funny. Oh my god, they're really running that. that was pretty mean. Oh god, I'm gonna get copyright claim for these, aren't I? Because of all the music. Ah! Whole course, 438. Who else on Bragg wants it? This is just a dude, what, doing this obstacle course? That's it? Okay, so... Okay, here's the thing. The way this is supposed to work, right? This is like physical punishment. And you're not supposed to just punish people for the sake of punishing them anymore. You're supposed to engage in what's called corrective training. And that is like, corrective training should involve some level of work, but it should be directly related to the thing you've screwed up, right? The idea is that you shouldn't just punish people for the sake of punishing them, right? You should improve them in some way. So tormenting someone by holding out a fire extinguisher, they're probably able to say it's corrective training because he probably did something like maybe damaged a fire extinguisher or took it and didn't put it back or something, right? So they're like, oh, he's going to carry that fire extinguisher while squatting. But yeah, I would have issue with this as an officer, right? I would not want this. I honestly probably wouldn't want this going on in my unit. Like, I wouldn't be like super upset if it did. We did some stuff like that while I was deployed, but there was like a larger purpose to it. And like when you're deployed, sometimes you just need to provide immediate corrective training. But as I got older, like I relied on it a lot more early in my sort of tenure, and as I kind of matured, I went further and further away from believing in this. Now I really don't believe it at all. I think physical workouts, I think this idea of being like physically punished is something that is for children. And I think that if you treat people like adults and have adult consequences, so like if you were to damage a fire extinguisher, let's say, I would be like, okay, like you and I are going to go and you are going to order the new one. So whatever you were doing, right, when everyone else is released from duty, you and I, soldier, we're going to go and we are going to put in a requisition for a fire extinguisher. So you're going to sit at the computer and you're going to type it up and you're going to get it together. You're going to look up the NSN and then we're going to find supply and we're going to drop it off and we're going to make sure that requisition's in. And when it comes in, you're going to pick it up and you're going to install it, right? That is, it's punitive, right? It's taking some of that soldier's time and giving them additional work because they have caused and created additional work for the rest of the unit. So, but that to me is a more effective way to do it, right? Yeah, he's pissed. Everybody else just chill. Okay, I can't tell. I can't actually tell. There may be, like, there's something in this, like, attitude where, like, they may not be mad. They may just be kind of fucking around with him. right? Like they may just be messing with him. You can hear they're not actually that mad. Yeah, they may just be like kind of messing with somebody they like. Right, like they may be messing with someone they like. Yeah, I think they may have been just messing with him. I think they may just yeah, it's hard, right? It's sort of like the Team Fortress 2 videos, where sometimes the meta gets so layered that it can be hard to tell when a staff sergeant is like, oh, you told me there were 3 fire extinguishers, but there's 4. And like, yeah, okay, whatever, man. And you're like, okay, put this fire extinguisher, do a squat. What? Yeah, do a squat, soldier. He goes, come on, Sergeant. He goes, no, do a squat. Okay.
Part 2, dirty pickup lines. Hey, roses are red, violets are twisted. Bend over, you're about to get fisted. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Are you a blanket? Because I love when you're on top of me.
Doesn't change the fact that your mother's dead.
That's what I came here for. Oh, it's the sort of horrible shit that I came here for.
Valencio, yes. Are you a poster? Because I'd like to pin you on my wall. Zarate, I'm jealous of your heart because it's pumping inside of you and I'm not.
Oh, God.
Your legs are like an Oreo. I just want to split them apart and eat everything in between.
Daddy, chill.
Gonzalez, roses are black, violets are red. What's it gonna take to get you into my bed? Roses are red, grass is greener. When I think of you, I play with my wiener.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm gonna fuck you.
This is the best one so far.
Hey, Bo. Hey, Bo.
Hey, what do you give a lemon when it's hurt?
What?
Lemonade?
Hey, Bo, what you got for me today?
Hey, what's the hairdresser's favorite basketball team?
What is it?
The Clippers?
They're just farming this dude for content, but it's good.
Hey, Doc. Yes, Marine? I got a cut. Thanks. Hey, Doc. What do you want, Marine? I've been shot. Get to the infirmary. We'll patch you right up and put you back in the fight.
Okay. No, they would have handed you morphine. FYI. And that's for the cut pinky.
Hey, Doc, I've been shot. Take this morphine. Thanks, Doc. You're a lifesaver. Excuse me, Doctor. Yes?
I've received the cut while moving the cannon. You think you can patch it up? It's bleeding.
Bring it closer so I may observe.
I love how he has no idea how people in the Civil War talk, so it's just very formal.
Amputation it is!
A phase I highly recommend all girls to avoid.
That's literally me in the video! I'm not saying that like metaphorically as if you shouldn't date me. That's literally a picture of me from my first deployment to the Middle East 3 years ago. Like, this is me in the Middle East almost 4 years ago on my first deployment. My head's even fucking shaved in it. Like, is this the reason I'm single? Is because this is like the 5th time that this has happened. Like, my friends send me a bunch of videos of like, dude, I saw you in another video, a picture of you. So is the reason I'm single because people keep tagging me and posting my picture in videos saying don't date military men?
Ouch. Sorry, bro.
Like, I get it. Military men are fucking trash. I know. I'm one of them. But I always just thought it was my ridiculous work hours or lack of emotional capacity to feel anything is why I'm single.
Also true.
But now I'm starting to think it's because women on TikTok are telling people not to date military men. So even if it is my own fault why I'm single, I'm still gonna blame you.
The military is terrible. I will never support y'all. That's fair.
I don't even need your support. So look, watch this. Let's go ahead and prove another person wrong. If you support the military and love the United States, you know what to do. Like and leave a comment talking about how much you love the U.S. and the military. USA. USA.
Man, more copyright claimed music. I'm donezo. They're never gonna.
USA.
Wait, that's it? That's not even funny.
Surgical with this bitch, Jake.
Yes, yes, this is a reference to Training Day.
Remember that fool in the wheelchair? How you think he got there?
Okay, deployed life. What's going on with the black turtleneck? It's not a uniform. What is with that shirt? I mean, that's a military tent. What? That isn't anything. All right, guys. So, what are the odds that this gets copyright claimed for the fact that it used nothing but copyrighted music? That's probably pretty high, right? So I've seen them come after me for 10 seconds at a time. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have like 400 million copyright claims. But that said, if you enjoyed this, please hit the like button. Please comment. Obviously, watch the whole thing all the way through multiple times. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. I think it's a violation of YouTube's terms of service. But do tell the algorithm that this was fun. And other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next one.